In this video, we're going over the pros and cons of Surf City, North Carolina. Let's go. What's going on, guys? I'm Avery Hamilton with the Living in Jacksonville team, and this is my beautiful wife, Emily. And as much as we love making these videos for you guys, we'd love even more to help you with the real estate needs. So that phone number and email address popping up on your screen. I am the one that responds to all the calls, texts, and emails. I would love to have a conversation with you and see how we can help you find your dream home in the Surf City, Wilmington, Jacksonville area. And without further ado, today we're talking about the pros and cons of Surf City. Surf City is probably one of the most requested areas around here that is between Wilmington and Jacksonville. It's pretty much smack dab in the center of both cities, which will be part of the pros and the cons in this video. But we're discussing the pros and the cons. And so let's kick it off with the pros in the area. Pro number one, what would you say is probably the top pro in the area?
Definitely the beaches. Absolutely.
Yeah, this area is awesome as far as coastal living goes. The beaches, the water recreation, pretty much, I mean, just taking like Charlie down to the beach. And we didn't know how much we truly love the beach until we actually moved here and saw our daughter playing in the sand and going in the water and just getting dirty and messy and all that stuff. I know that a lot of people want to be close to the coast, but when you live next to the coast, it's a totally different story. But with that said, there's downsides to it, which we'll discuss later. And if you stick around to the end, we will discuss one of the main negatives about living on the coast that a lot of people run into, especially when they're looking into beach real estate and looking for lots to build a home and that kind of thing. All right, and pro number two is the food and drink culture. What would you say is our favorite restaurant or our favorite place to go in Surf City?
I don't know if I can say just one. There are so many good ones. I mean, Daddy Mac's, that's right on the beach. I think that's my favorite view of all time. I mean, you can't get any better than that, but I mean, there's too many to list. Even Shaka Taco right across the street from Daddy Mac's, that's always a good place to grab a bite when you're on the beach.
Yeah, and on the go too. Like, there's a lot of these small shacks, right? Taco shacks or, you know, little hot dog stands or whatever in the area that you can stop. Like, you're on the beach, you're hanging out, you're doing whatever, shopping at some of the restaurants or stores, and you can stop at those restaurants and just get a bite to go, bring it onto the beach. And you're not supposed to bring some things onto the beach, but people do it as long as you pick up your trash. Always pick up your trash.
Don't glitter, as Charlie
Yeah,
would say.
don't glitter. We participate in, you know, the whole turtle rescue thing, right? And we subscribe to it rather. And so we always try and teach our daughter to pick up trash on the beach and that kind of thing. And she calls it glittering instead of littering, which is really funny. But Daddy Mac's is a really nice restaurant. We bring all of our family and friends there. It has a back deck that overlooks the Surf City Pier and the ocean. You can watch the surfers out there doing their thing. And it's just really, really good food. But then moving even into like more inland over the bridge, you got Coastal Wings and Spirits, Salty Turtle Brewing. There's a new distillery. The owners of the distillery are from our neck of the woods in Buffalo, New York. They're Bills fans, so go Bills. Hidden Ships Distilling. And that's a phenomenal, it's a speakeasy vibe. And so we like bringing our family there as well.
And that's the other thing. All of these restaurants have an outdoor vibe or a really cool vibe just to sit and hang and drink and eat. So anywhere you go, you're going to get that, I think, at any place.
Yeah, it's a nice family environment. We always, in New York, we're always worried about, you know, our daughter running around and doing 3-year-old things and stuff. And here, you don't feel judged when the kids are being crazy 3-year-olds, and they're doing the same thing, right? There's a lot of kids just running around and being kids, and we never feel judged, which is nice. And the restaurant staff and, you know, the bartenders and stuff, they'll come and compliment her on her clothes and shoes and stuff and hang out, right? Like, it's just a fun family environment.
That's kind of like a built-in pro.
Yeah.
The people around here are just so friendly. They're great.
Super friendly.
It took a little bit to get used to,
Yeah.
just coming from upstate New York. But yeah, no, everyone's so friendly down here. They're great. So.
And if you're from up north and you are a fan of buffalo wings, we found that Coastal Wings and Spirits is the best wings in the area. They are a lot like New York wings, whereas a lot of the other restaurants are small little baby wings. So if you're into wings, I know I had one comment come in about buffalo wings. Coastal Wings and Spirits in Surf City is the place to go.
Yeah.
All right, and pro number 3 is more up her alley, but it's all of the small shops, the mom and pop shops, and the shopping scene, because it is a tourism area, right? Like tons of vacationers. There's all of these small boutique shops. There's one in particular on 50 that you absolutely love, and just driving by and whatnot.
Carolina Decor and More. Just small, cute little shops. You'll find some unique items in there that not every, box store is going to have or anything like that. So you definitely get to find those unique little touches, whether it's decor or a gift or whatever it may be.
Little thrift shops and things in the area. And if you're looking for a property and you want to decorate your property here, the coastal theme, the beach theme, there is no shortage of that, whether it's handmade. You will find
what you're looking for.
Yeah. Whether it's handmade or just, something maybe being resold or whatever, there is a ton of that around here. Yeah. But really, there's no big box stores. You're not going to see, with the exception of East Coast Sports right over the bridge.
Okay.
That's a little bit more of a big box store. But other than that, you're looking at small surf shops, small decor stores, and things like that. And it's nice, going around and supporting small business, because that's their thing, right? Like, we try and shop local as much as possible, whether it's decorations or clothes for the kids or whatever, our own clothes. Try and shop as local as possible. And sometimes when you're in the bigger cities, it's hard to do that because you have these big department stores,
right? And
you get many options and stuff. But here, unless you're wanting to drive about 25 to 30 minutes, it's best just to go to the local shops.
It's always fun to see what they are going to have in their shops, because sometimes it's new every time you go in. So you definitely have a unique experience every time you go into one of the shops.
And it's like, it's like you said, it's unique. Yeah. And like the other night, you just got a random sweater for Charlie because it was chilly outside. It was like 50 degrees. Yeah. And she got this random sweater, but it's perfect for a 3-year-old, but it makes her look like a cute little granny. And it's adorable, but I don't know, it feels like it was handmade. Like it feels
the quality
like
of it
it's very high
fantastic.
Quality. And what was your experience in that shop?
Oh, it was such a great shop. It was so cute. Bella and James, they were, the staff there was great. And all of these clothes, like you said, they look like they're homemade. They top-notch quality. So that's a cute store too.
Yep. All right. And number 4 is the community feel in Surf City. Since we've lived here, we've probably gone to 6,000 different festivals. And
it feels like it, yeah.
And fireworks and shopping and food trucks and breweries and everything, music. And it's good for the whole family. So you never hesitate bringing the kids to a lot of these fairs or festivals. And in Surf City, the last 3 weeks, there was a festival. There was a tree lighting. Yep. What else? What was the one right before that? There was Ocean Fest right before that.
Oh, yeah.
In September. But there's always something going on.
Feels like one almost every weekend.
Yeah, Surf City does. In Soundside Park, they do movies in the park where you and the kids go and they're playing a movie from, 5:30 to 9 p.m. or something like that when it gets dark.
Scotty McCreery just came to Soundside Park.
So there was a concert at Soundside Park right over the bridge. There's a lot of things going on around the area. Holly Ridge has festivals as well. Hampstead has festivals as well. And every single night, one of the restaurants on the island has someone playing music, just a pop-up band or a cover band playing music, and just making it a great time. And there's always kids up dancing next to the stage, and our daughter's one of them.
Yep.
So anytime there's music, our daughter is just out there spinning around, twirling, showing off her moves. And she's in dance class now in Surf City. And so like she's excited to show off all of her moves. But the community feel, like I alluded to earlier with the parks and stuff too, parents are talking to each other. Adults are everyone's friendly. Kids are playing with each other on the parks and that kind of thing. So you really feel like it's a close-knit community, even though there's a seasonality between, who comes and goes, right? People stay all summer. There's people that are staying at Airbnbs all summer, or they'll stay for a week and leave. Everyone is super friendly. It's just that area that everyone wants to be in. You never really get a sour taste in your mouth about how friendly the area is.
No, never.
All right, moving on. Number 5 is the affordable living in Surf City. This is kind of contrary to our first con, but it is a very affordable coastal area to live compared to a lot of other places in the South, or coastal areas to live on. You can buy a beach house for about $500,000, a pretty nice one, in Surf City. You're not going to get that in Sarasota, Florida. You're not going to get that really on any beach in Florida or Georgia or South Carolina. In fact, I know a lot of people moving to Surf City simply because it is cheaper. We got some folks that are on their own island in South Carolina, or moving from Florida or Georgia or whatever, and they're being hit with fees and taxes and everything else. It's just so much cheaper here. Like, you can't buy a beach home for $500,000 anywhere in the United States, really. We came from the Finger Lakes in upstate New York. You can't even buy a home on the lake for $500,000, and you can get one here. So as far as the home prices go, like, they're elevated in terms of, compared to the state average and that kind of thing. But for being a coastal town, it's very, very affordable. The taxes on the island, or in Surf City in general, are 41 cents per $100 of value. So, compared to maybe Sneed's Ferry, you are going to be paying a little bit more in taxes, but 41 cents per $100. So with the county, you're about $1 per $100 of value. So you can do the math on that with whatever home you're interested in, and I guarantee that your taxes are probably still going to be cheaper than wherever it is you're coming from. And then, when we're looking at rent, like when we moved here, rent is so much cheaper in this area.
Where we came from.
Yeah, I mean, for what you get too. You can get a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house with its own yard for $2,000, or you can get, people have townhouses, right, for $1,500 or $1,300 in the area. So, and in fact, I was helping a client last week look at some apartments, and it was like $1,200 for a 1-bed, 1-bath, or a 2-bed, 2-bath rather, and it's right in the heart of Surf City. So, and the Airbnb prices are pretty reasonable as well compared to obviously the rest of the country or coastal areas. So in this area, it's absolutely cheaper, but it can be sticker shock for a lot of people too. All right, now moving on to the cons. Con number 1 is also the cost of living. So yes, it is a pro in a lot of senses, but in another, it is a con. So for example, with the taxes that I just alluded to or told you guys about, with 41 cents per $100 of value, Sneed's Ferry doesn't have that, right? So, you can stay in parts of Holly Ridge and Hampstead and stuff don't have that. So you can stay pretty close to Surf City, near Surf City, and not have those taxes, but you wouldn't be on the island, right? So there's other fees and stuff involved with being on the island and going to the beach and that kind of thing as well.
Like, you have to pay for parking when you go to the beach. That is from, April to November.
Yeah.
So that would be...
And what is it? It's $5 an hour up to $25 a day. in most places. There's some that I think I saw a little more expensive and cheaper, but county parking spots you don't have to pay for county parking spots, but town parking spots you do. So most in Surf City in particular, most parking areas are you have to pay. But if you can find one where the county owns it, then you don't have to pay. When we go to the beach during peak season, we try and avoid the traffic, avoid the fees, and we go down, I'm not going to tell you which parking spot it is, but we go down to South Topsail Beach, the town of Topsail Beach, and we basically park down there so that we don't have to pay, because we do frequent the beach. So
and it's also a little less busy,
crowded
down there.
Yep.
As well. So
because it's a drive, right? So the only two ways onto Topsail Island are from Sneed's Ferry and Surf City. If you drive down to South Topsail, you don't have a way to get off the island without going back into Surf City. And so sometimes it can be crowded, it can be busy, the traffic can suck. And so it can take you a little while. And if you're stuck, behind, for an event or something, it is a bear.
Everyone trying to get off the island when, there's a thunderstorm.
Yeah, thunderstorm. Everyone's trying to.
You're going to get stuck in traffic.
Yeah. The best thing to do in that case is to try and wait out the thunderstorm and then get back on the beach, and you're the only one there. But yeah, parking fees suck. It is what it is, but that's why we go to the south side. We do know that there is legislation that's attempting to be pushed for Surf City residents. So if you live in Surf City, you may or may not need to pay for parking here in the future. There's a council member just was elected that is pushing that pretty hard to get any homeowner in Surf City free parking on the beach. But as of right now, yeah, $5 an hour up to $25 a day.
Pay for parking.
Pretty much everywhere in Surf City, except for mainland. But you're not gonna want to walk over the bridge just to go to the beach. So, but yeah, if you're moving to Surf City, contact us. We'll tell you where we park. It's a local secret, and we'll give you the ins on that one, as long as you promise not to steal our spot. So, all right, and con number 2 is the seasonal traffic in Surf City.
Yes, so during those peak seasons, those peak months, it's gonna be a lot more traffic. You got all of those people coming to vacation here. So, there's not a lot of back roads here. So you got a couple of roads to choose from, and they're all gonna be busy. Makes the lights a little bit longer in in your intersections and whatnot. And like we touched on earlier, if you're on the island and there's a thunderstorm, or everyone decides to get off for lunch or something like that, you're gonna always hit that traffic coming off the island too. So, or
if there's an event, they were doing the Christmas tree lighting the other day. We were out on the beach because it was a beautiful, beautiful day, and we're leaving. We're looking for somewhere to go out to dinner, and we just decided we were going to go to the other side of the island, or the other side of the bridge, because there was a Christmas tree lighting. There was like 1,000 people over there, and the traffic was backed up from one end of the bridge to the other. So we were kind of glad at that point that we decided to go to Sears Landing instead of like waiting to go to Daddy Mac's or Shaka or wherever. Right. But it does get very busy, especially during events, and then peak season.
Yeah, like the sea turtle release. We went to the sea turtle release this summer, which was awesome. If you can make one, I highly recommend it.
Especially with kids.
Yes, but get there early. Yes. Like not a half hour.
2 hours.
Early, because the turtles got stuck in traffic. Yeah. So we ended up having to wait longer than anticipated to actually see the release.
Yeah, our friends ended up not showing up because they waited too long to leave. Fortunately, I'm early just about to everything. And we got there in plenty of time. But our friends, they got held up in traffic. They ended up pulling a Yui and just leaving. They were better off walking to the release. They probably would have made it if they walked, but they decided not to. So
I heard it was like the biggest turnout that they have had so far for a sea turtle. People, for sea turtle release. But events like that, you're gonna get traffic, and all those people are leaving at the same time too. So not only do you have a traffic getting there, probably going to have some getting back too.
And then touching on that, another con is the small business, so the lack of job opportunity in the area. There's the biggest business that we have here in Surf City, what would you say, is Walmart?
Yeah.
There's a neighborhood grocery Walmart.
Right.
There's like a Food Line and a Publix and a Pet Supplies or a Petco or whatever.
Both. Yeah.
But everything else is small business.
Yep.
So as far as high level, high quality jobs, you're looking outside of Surf City. You're probably going to be driving. So unless you're in the service industry, whether it's, or, you know, in like professional services, like in real estate or accounting or law firms or something like that. No, I lied. Lowe's is probably going to be the biggest. Lowe's home,
Yes.
yeah,
Yes.
tools and stuff, whatever it's called, is the biggest in the area. So like, but they don't pay the most either. So a lot of people will complain that there's not a lot of job opportunities in the area. And if they do find jobs in the area, it's probably at a restaurant or at a small local store or something.
Right.
And they don't get paid that much to be able to buy the kind of home that they want. So they need to live outside of Surf City just to afford life, you know? I mean,
Right.
it's kind of sucks in that regard, and a lot of people will complain about that. But it is what it is, the seasonality of it, and I mean, the small business, I mean, that's just the way that tourist towns are. All right, moving on, con number 4 is small town amenities.
Yes, and what we mean by that is there is no big box stores around here.
Yeah.
So you're smack dab in between two cities. So you have no Walmart superstores. Ladies, no Target here. So you're driving to get to Target.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's...
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, if you like to shop at some of those big box stores, some of the high end, or I guess big department stores, Surf City ain't it.
No, not even a mall.
Not even a mall.
Not even a mall.
Or any kind of like strip mall. So it is, like we said earlier, a bunch of these small mom and pop stores. You can get all of your essentials
Oh yeah.
in Surf City, and if you're not a big shopper, then you don't need to leave Surf City, right? You can get your groceries and pretty much everything you need, like Lowe's Home Improvement. That's what it's called, Lowe's Home Improvement. You can get everything you need here in Surf City, but you don't have the Targets, the Walmart, or the Walmart Supercenters.
Right.
You don't have, I mean, any big department stores. So you are going to have to go to Jacksonville to go to the mall or any of those stores out there, or you can go the other way to go to Wilmington, which Wilmington, in my opinion, has a little bit more options for you.
Bigger mall.
Yeah, it's a bigger mall. There's more stores along Market Street and Oleander and stuff. So you get more options in Wilmington versus Jacksonville. However, I think Jacksonville is probably going to be a little bit cheaper for most things. But not a lot of people want to drive out 30 minutes to go to Jacksonville or Wilmington to get what they want to get from Target or whatever. So that definitely is a con. And then also, one thing that was a huge consideration for us was if we decided to have another baby, where are we gonna do it, right? Because Onslow Memorial is 30 minutes away, and then you have New Hanover Regional or Novant, another 30 minutes away. So, I mean, early labor or whatever, you're taking an ambulance 30 minutes to go to the hospital, but also emergency services are 30 minutes away.
You do have an urgent care in Surf City, so you know, for small emergencies, there is that to consider, but like, any major hospital is going to be a little bit of a drive. Yeah,
I mean, you have your dentist offices, your family practices, like physicians and little things like that. But any major care facility is going to be about 30 minutes away. So something to definitely consider if you're, thinking about moving out to Surf City. You are going to be, it's a big hang up for a lot of retirees in the area, because if, heaven forbid, if something happens right? How long is it going to take to get to a major medical facility in that event? So just a big consideration when it comes to medical services. All right, and the fifth con that we're going to discuss are CAMA restrictions on the island. So in Surf City, CAMA is a government organization essentially to make sure that our coastline stays a coastline and it stops receding, and also that you build a home or your home is safe when it comes to like hurricanes and erosion and things like that. So CAMA restrictions kind of suck when looking for real estate because there's conforming lots and non-conforming lots. Non-conforming lots mean that you don't fit within the setbacks that CAMA has placed on that piece of property or on the island. So if you're trying to buy a piece of land on the island on the beachfront, you need 60 feet from the first line of natural vegetation. And then from the road, you need 25 feet. That can get dicey with a lot of these areas because the shoreline has, with high tide and stuff, has just been eroded. And then with every hurricane that comes through or every tropical storm, there's more erosion. So things can get dicey. And so when you hear realtors talking about conforming or non-conforming, or you see it in a listing, that's what they're talking about. Also, there's non-conforming homes that have sort of been grandfathered into that space. But if there's a hurricane or a fire or a flood or anything, and the insurance company deems that your house is more than 50% destroyed, you cannot rebuild on that non-conforming lot. So basically, you need to wait for natural vegetation to come in, measure out that 60 feet from that first sign of natural vegetation in order to build your house, as long as you're within the setbacks. But within the, within the island and like where the erosion is and stuff, chances are you're not going to be able to. So now it becomes a non-conforming lot, and you basically sell it to a middle row homeowner that wants deeded beach access. Or you keep it for yourself and you use that as your deeded beach access anytime you and your family want to go to the beach or whatever. Right. You'll see a lot of these little lots that have like a gazebo on it, or a stairwell with benches and stuff, and it's like a private stairwell to go to the beach. They do that. You can get CAMA permits for that. But some of these lots, because they're so tight, you're not going to be able to get a permit to build a house unless it's a tiny, tiny home, which then you fall into, building permits and zoning requirements and stuff with the town, which is a whole different issue. There's a lot to consider. But one of the reasons that, it's important that you get a realtor that knows what they're doing and talking about when it comes to conforming and non-conforming lots on the beachfront. With that said, if there's a non-conforming lot, it doesn't mean that it's always going to be non-conforming. Chances are it's going to be a pretty darn long time until it is conforming, because you have to plant sea oats. You need to wait for it to become natural, and then which can take a couple years, especially with erosion and stuff, and then you need to measure it out. So I don't want to bore you too much with that, but that is a downside about beach property, is that it could be destroyed and you may not be able to build ever again on that lot. You also could be able to build on that lot. So when you're looking at beach properties in the state of North Carolina, consider CAMA regulations, and your agent should be able to help you out with that. But just something to think about when you're looking at these beach homes. If you got the money for it and whatnot, then there's a lot of things you can do, right, to make sure your home is going to stay in good condition and that kind of thing. When you don't take care of your home, obviously, the more susceptible it is to weather and hurricanes and things like that. So just wanted to throw that out there as a con. But with that, I mean, Surf City is a phenomenal place. We love, once again, we live in Holly Ridge, just outside of Surf City. But Surf City is where we do everything. Like, Holly Ridge doesn't have any grocery stores or anything like that. So We go into Surf City for just about everything. That's also our entrance onto the beach. All of our restaurants, shops, pretty much everything.
Yeah.
And it's funny because our daughter, she's 3, and she knows the breweries we like to go to. She knows the restaurants we like to go to. And she'll call it out in the car. She'll drive by it and she'll talk about the alligator store. She'll talk about, you know, Tsunami or Shaka Taco or Salty Turtle.
She knows where dance class is.
Yep, she knows exactly where dance class is. So Surf City is where we frequent. It's where a lot of you are interested in. And we absolutely love it. We think that the pros outweigh the cons. And, you know, we are, I think I've said this before in the videos, we're trying to get into one particular neighborhood in Surf City. Not a lot of homes come available in Surf City, and when they do, they tend to sell at a premium because it's a highly sought after area. But with that, you can still get $500,000 houses on the beach. So definitely a pro.
Definitely.
But with that said, guys, hope you guys got something out of this video. Hope you learned a little something. And until the next video, guys, be sure to subscribe, like, comment, let us know if there's a con that we forgot or a pro that we forgot. And comment if you like her in the video. She adds a little something that I probably don't have. But we're going to continue to have her in the videos. So hope you guys enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And until the next video.
See you next time.
Peace.